G'day everyone, how's it going? Hopefully I'll just starting to get things set up. Hopefully I'm on time for once. And I'm just going to do a live stream to this. And again, for those who are just joining me for the very first time, I'm just the Asian Dad. And I am just going to try and continue to do these weekly live streams here. Now, I don't really have much of an agenda on this week because I've been just busy testing stuff, especially with this new Asus ROG X13 Flow. I am loving this thing at the moment, so that's this. Well, I'm going to connect it to it. Now, this thing, I really am enjoying this computer here with the new AMD. I'm not trying to be AMD fanboy, but I am fanboying over this computer here. So, g'day Chris, how's it going? G'day Mohammed. Nice to see you guys join me up. Thanks for support, guys, as well too. This computer, I can definitely tell you. And g'day Lawrence, how are you as well too? Good to see that you joined me as well too, Lawrence. But yeah, so this computer here has just been, I've been actually showing a few people, of my colleagues at work, and they're pretty blown by this chip here, which is the AMD Ryzen 9 5980HS processor. It is quite a beaut, especially for professional work, and what we've seen this thing can do is quite amazing, considering that it's in a 13-inch. I'm just going to continue showing to you. Considering this is a 13-inch computer, it is really lightweight. I have more than likely will probably create a video if I can get a hold of the Lenovo X1 Carbon, which is what I would consider one of my favorite laptops of all time, especially for its weight and has its ports. And I think this is going to knock it off from my phone there. So definitely this thing can also can do a 2-in-1 as well too. So it has pen support, which the Lenovo X1 Carbon cannot do. Also has a graphics card in there, so you can do deep learning as well, or actually you can do CAD work as well too. So this thing has been a beaut, and the single core performance is pretty mind-staggering on this one here, and also with the actual temperatures and also the fan noise as well, so not too bad. But yeah, this one here, I am just finishing off the filming of this one here. All the test results are in, and it's still quite amazing for me, so keep that soon. I've just been thinking about what I will do because of how I'm blown by this computer here. I'm going to more than likely try and do a comparison with the MacBook Pro. I've got this is a 13-inch on there. I've got a 15-inch as well, so I'm going to try and maybe actually have that get compared with the MacBook Pro. Now this is the M1 chip, so I will be comparing the AMD 5980HS processor with the M1 chip. But this one, of course, has the graphics card in there, which is the GeForce, what was it, GTX 1650 Ti. I know this actually has external dock which has the RTX 3080. I don't have that. I'm gonna see if I can get the hold of that, but I don't think it'll be enough in time for the review when I do the comparison with this M1 chip. But if I do, I think it's going to be quite surprising there. These do extremely well. These MacBooks Pros do very well. I must admit, these M1 chip is amazing. Just the software support, that's the problem about these things here. Whereas the X86, it's a proven one, it's been there for a long time, so this is a new thing anyway. Are all these items free for you? No, I don't. They're not. These ones here are just from my work, and this one here is on loan from AMD anyway, so this will be returned after finished with this. It will be returned back to AMD there, just to let you know there on my own. So it does keep, I don't get a lot of free stuff, a lot of these equipment free. I actually have a few things on loan, of course, from all the different manufacturers there. So yeah, it does keep us reviewers, try and give us unbiased, because we actually only have a little bit of time, have a play with it. I actually do try and use them as a daily while I have these products in, just so I can actually have a good interest. So this one actually has a very fun thing about this that I find that you'll find in the review video that I've noticed in this computer here, that there is a little con in there, but it's not a bad con. It's just a matter how you actually open this up in a way. So you just check that video out in a way. So that's what's been happening. I've just been really testing this computer here. I am also starting to learn a little bit more about deep learning. But actually, before I get onto that, This one here, because this is the new AMD 5000 mobile chip, I'm pretty blown, and I've been looking at the Team Blue to see what they're now. I've been in an event for Intel today, and they're gonna probably be. Do look out. I can't say too much about it, but do look out very close in the future on what they're bringing out in the future. It is going to be surprising, and it's also going to be. I'm actually interested. I am interested because when I saw the results for this AMD, I was blown by the actual results, and having to hear what Intel had to say on what their new products is, I am going to be very interested to see how that compares with this 5980 HS processor. Now there is a 59 something HX version, which is even more hardcore than this. So I actually don't have that in. I'm trying to get that in from AMD to give that a go. But I am very interested to see what the new products of Intel is going to be comparing with that. I've heard some things and I've seen some things from them, and it looks very promising to see. So not all hope is lost from Team Blue. So be on a checkout for that. I'll try and report that one as I'll come through once I go through the embargo dates for it anyway. So that's kind of cool. How are you guys going? Are you guys doing pretty well? It's starting to get a little bit chilly in Brisbane, where I'm living, so I'm actually got a wool shirt on as well too. And I was also, what I'm talking about before was about the deep learning. I'm starting to learn a bit by PyTorch, or whatever it is. Cool. I'm learning a little bit. It is going to take a bit of time for me to learn deep learning, so I'm just going to learn all about neural networks and all that other things as well too. So slowly getting there, and then I'll try and do my best to slowly learn a bit of TensorFlow as well. I'm not really a researcher, or I actually do things in that sort of way. I'm just trying to learn that so I can learn how to benchmark these computers. I am trying to ask a few experts around, trying to give me a little bit handy as well too. Yeah, Chris, it got very cold very quickly actually with the rain today, and it definitely, I think around about 2 hours ago, it just dropped. I'm thinking tomorrow night it's going to be even more colder anyway, so let's see how it goes. My room at the moment is quite nice because, well, in this room here, because of all the computers running, it's actually producing quite a bit of a heat, well, different heats. I've just turned them off so I don't get annoyed by the audio from the microphone anyway. So I've only got one computer, which is this command that's running, and it's just doing something at the background anyway, so that's why I hear that one go off. But yes, how are you all going? I'm also watching the news as well too, so we're definitely keeping an eye out on the COVID over at India and hoping the world's best anyway and the quick recovery. I know they haven't hit the peak yet, but our hearts and prayers do go out to them as well too. And also for us, because I live in Australia, I am hoping that we can try and get some of our citizens back into Australia, right? Because it does cause quite a little bit of grief for a lot of families. So yeah, definitely our hearts goes to them. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys got any questions? I've not really gotten very much on this week because I've been just busy filming, getting back on the horse and trying to, because I took about 2 to 3 weeks off with all our long weekends. We did have a long weekend, but we're just now trying to get things back onto it as well too. I'm also trying to, while I'm at it, I'm also trying to find out, I think I'm going to try and find out about Lenovo, all the Gen 2 versions as well, because I know there's the X13s, which I just produced that X13 now. That was filmed probably about, that was about February or so. I just hadn't got time to actually put it together, which I did end up putting together. And also, I do know they've got the X1 Gen 2s as well. And I know there's also a few of the Gen 2s from Lenovo, so I'm excited to see those ones here. I don't expect them to be anytime soon for us because we have a lot of shipping problems from Lenovo. But I'm just hoping the best for them, but at least I start organizing that as well too. Now I know for the Dell side of things, I think I'm going to soon get that Precision 3620, I think it is. And also I'm still trying to find out about that also the Latitude 7520 on that one there, so I'm just trying to get hold of that one there. Again, shipping problems for us all around, so yes, but yes, Have you guys got any questions for you? And I'm also trying my best to talk to Alienware. I do have something coming up something exciting coming soon, but it won't happen in the next probably, I would say, another 2 more months or so. I don't think something's happening in the WAC works at the moment, and it's going to be hopefully very good for the channel as well too. So I ordered the Dell Latitude 7420. Actually, I saw a review from this channel only. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm the only one who's reviewed it. Actually, it's quite a common laptop. I don't know if I've got it with me or not. Is this it? I think I might have this with me. Oh, it's not. Let's give it a second. No, this is the 7320 at the moment. I'm still got to put the review out. Actually, I've done half testing. I've just got diverted with other stuff, but yeah, the 7420. I actually like what they've done with it. I think this new 11th gen Intel Core has done pretty good, especially for these ones here. And definitely wait up for the news in about a week's time. That's a hint there. About a week's time, definitely there's going to be some interesting things happening from Team Blue there. But that won't affect the Latitude series there. I think that one there you'll be more looking for the much more high end there for it. So definitely. Thanks for joining us, Chris there. Thank you for supporting my channel as well. And do take care and say hi to your family as well too. Mate, have a good night. But yeah, so definitely watch out the space. I'll do my best to try and report one for this, because they do have some very interesting things coming out. But yeah, definitely I am... It's hard, just try not to talk about it, but yeah, definitely something interesting is happening in the works on Team Blue. So we're going to actually see if we're going to, I think the other thing I'm going to try and do is get, of course, will the 45H series charge via USB? 45H series, which one's that one there? Sorry, Lawrence, you've just took me. Sorry, there's a lot of code names. 45H series. I'm taking a guess you're talking about the Tiger Lake, is it? If you are. So I don't know some of these code names. I just know some of the other code names. That's about it. But yeah, 45H, if you can expand that, it'd be great there. Sometimes there could be a laptop as well. There's so many cryptic code names for a lot of computers as well too. There's, like I said, there's something I'm looking into. It's in the works. Again, they'll be bringing another bunch of products in as well too. So as I've said, I'm just going to keep it cruisy. Intel, it will charge by USB-C. And I can't really say too much about it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like I said, I'm on embargo on that one there, but yeah, it will charge by USB-C as well too. But exciting stuff on that particular product. Yeah, mate. Very nice. I think there's a few leaks already out there for it. Do check them out, but unfortunately I can't say too much about that. But yeah, definitely do check them out. There's a few things I saw. And yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to see what's going to come in the gaming section, and also the commercial section as well too. So exciting news for the second half of this 2021. Now, what they promise, well, if we even get any stock of these things, would be great, because I know there's silicon problems everywhere. They promise, they have put some numbers out. We'll see if they actually keep those promises out for that as well too. But yeah, while I'm trying to get the hold of those, I'm trying to organize that, and I'm still going to try and organize some more AMDs in as well too. But definitely both sides is very interesting. I think this year, g'day Summit, how are you doing? Summit, alright, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, this year, I think this year has been much more exciting in terms, I think last year was quite exciting, but I think this year been much more exciting in terms of the two big manufacturers for chips. I think that's been quite exciting on both sides. and quite a bit of a leap as well, is what the best way to say, in both the processors as well as the performance as well of these computers. And also, I think these days, especially with the integrated graphics, I'm actually surprised how well those integrated graphics are. Although we may see some of these numbers that we come out and then you go, oh, it's split there. But if you compare something like that was out for like 4 years ago, it's actually quite a bit of a difference. Especially you can actually place them, because I actually get a lot of questions that's for a lot of these like computers like these ones here. Can it play games? And you go, if I had to ask you around about 4 to 5 years ago, I will probably say nah. More than likely, that's meh. We'll probably do some basic like Flash. Oh, no, we don't play Flash games anyway, but you know, some very basic games. But I think these RSXEs and also the Radeon with the AMD will be the Vega 6. They do pretty decent. Like you can still set it to like medium and just do either 720 or full HD. And you can still play some of these games pretty decently on the integrated graphics. So that's definitely amazing, I've got to say. So it's been a bit of a jump, but of course, if you're comparing to discrete graphics, it's not going to be that high. But still, even for the old discrete graphics, I think they're still doing very well, as I've proven in some of my earlier videos, where even just the base graphics, like the MX 200, 250s, and 220s, and also the quadros, 400s there. Even the integrated graphics these days with the RSXE and also the Vega 6, they're right up there. They're nearly on par. They're still a little bit slow, but they're nearly on par, so that's not bad, I've got to say. So, g'day Max, how are you doing? Hope you're doing very well as well too. And thanks for joining me. It's been a while. We've chat on Instagram as well too. So I'm think we're Brisbane here starting to get a bit of your weather there down there as well too. So yeah, but yeah. So as for graphics wise, I would love to hear what you guys think about the graphics wise on these chips, because I think they've actually done quite a lot of leaps in this time, especially the last year or two. The integrated graphics has done quite well, and to the point where a lot of these, because as you probably noticed from my channel, I do a lot of business laptops, and I think this has been a great thing for a lot of business laptops where they don't need to actually upgrade or put discrete graphics in some of these just to even do media. Also, especially with doing Zooms and stuff, that actually helps. Or Zoom video conferencing, any type of video conferencing, it really does help. I've got to say. Now, do you have any idea of building a budget PC? Budget PC? Yeah, I do actually. I'm not a person who actually do the DIY because my channel really isn't a DIY channel. But I am a system builder. I used to be a system builder, so I actually do build systems. But here's my thought, and it really depends on what you're trying to build. If you're just building something that's just do like Word or something like that, or just image processing, well, actually, even Photoshop and stuff, anything Photoshop does pretty well. Like I know you can get faster to get quicker, but you don't really need it. You're only going to wait a few more extra seconds anyway. So in terms of your professional work, then of course you go up to the the i5s and i7s. But I'm actually, if you probably look at this, I'm actually having a play with this one here, which is let's say i3. And I have a play with these budget ones as well too. So I actually built a budget computer just to have a play with it, to see how well it produces. Because I do get a lot of the i5s and i7, i9, and the Xeons a lot. But well, I don't hear much about the i3s. And they're a very good budget. Like this one here in Australia, it cost me, I think the processor cost me like close to $120 or so. That's like dirt cheap for us anyway, considering how much I get a lot of these other big CPUs. And I had to play it, and quite happily it does very well, and it's very stable. And I think I built that computer for close to only under like about $400 or so. Well, then I had some spare parts as well too. But yeah, it was pretty decent, and that's what I can say. I know there's AMD versions as well. You can probably, and pretty much I just chose to pick the i3 because it was so much cheap. And then find a board that can actually support it for it, and then some RAM, and I think here's my take. One of the things about budgets PCs, processor wise, it really again, i3 is good because if you're just doing some basic stuff, great. RAM, at least try these days. I know people do 8 gigs, but I still stick to 16 gigs for budget computers, even for budget computers, because that RAM really helps load a lot of things quicker and keeps things in basically in quick memory so you can access it. The second thing I would definitely chuck into my money into is if you can get like a good price SSD, especially NVMe. A lot of even the budget motherboards will have NVMe support. That helps a lot. That really helps. Those two memory supports helps a lot in just keeping the computer running a lot more smoother. As for graphics wise, yeah, I'll just go and find anything. But you can also find old laptops that's on budget as well too. But yeah, definitely I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of idea on some things to look for in your budget computer. Case wise, just get something that would fit in really what you're kind of looking for anyway. One thing I did find that was really annoying me when I was trying to build this computer here, I rebuild another computer, was I actually wanted to have USB-C, front USB-Cs. Not many cases have front USB-Cs. I'm hoping they will change that sometime soon anyway. That's one thing I found, they don't have front USB-Cs. I was like, well, I have to find a USB-C extension cable to route it down to the front, because I'm getting a lot of the USB-C dongles, a lot of USB-C and Thunderbolt hard drives, and because I've got to do Macs as well too, which are only USB-C, it's a bit of annoyance anyway. So if you've got a very good budget sort of case that has USB-C front ports, put it in the chat. I'll love to hear, and I'll go definitely do some research on that as well too. Okay, Max, I'm on my old XPS 13 8th gen. i7 actually does edit in Lightroom decent. Yeah, yep, exactly. Well, you're doing, yeah, that's right, you're on the 7550 now, and definitely with especially with photos, I've ran photos on much lower gear even than the old the 8th gen. You've got 8th gen Intel i7, which is still very quick especially for image processing. But once you get into like all the other like CAD work and stuff like that, of course, and video work, it does help with having a little bit more of a new one. There is a little bit of jump each time. Every year you do jump up, but they still work fine, and I would not get rid of them because we are being quite a bit of a disposable society. I think one of the biggest things that I get really annoyed by here, especially here in Australia, I'm not sure about other countries, is printers. Printers here in Australia are so cheap that a lot of the times the printers itself is actually, how should I say, replacing a printer is cheaper than the ink cartridges. That's how bad it is. So I see a lot of people just buy new printers instead of actually refilling or buying refills for their cartridges or toners anyway. So, and I don't really like that because we're wasting a lot of, of things to create the printer, and also then after that it's just a lot of electronic waste anyway. So I'm hoping that's one thing that sort of market gets a little bit better. But yeah, definitely. What do you guys think of that? Or what other thing that you can think of is a really bad electronic waste for us as well too? So yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm just going. But yeah, any other questions that you guys have got as well? If not, I'm just going to keep it a call. I might give it a call in about 5 minutes time, as it's just a quick one. Like I said, haven't done too much because I've just been mostly testing, just getting things back onto normal, and I've been having a very hard week, just with a lot of work stuff as well too. But yeah, if you got any questions, fire it away, and I'm trying my best to keep this thing weekly for you guys. And it's just been quite fun to actually see the new stuff, and just trying to get things going as well too. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for a few rolling throughs here. The other thing that's I'm looking at too, besides the whole the deep learning thing, is crypto trading. I'm actually learning about crypto trading. You can't ignore crypto these days anyway. No matter how much you kind of don't like it, crypto's I think is here to stay, really. So I'm just going to learn a little bit about crypto as well too. Just the whole idea of blockchain. I can't really say, oh, it's just going to be a fab these days. I think so. I'm just learning that while I'm learning about deep learning as well too. So yeah, the Norway, the lowest cannon is 36. Yep. I would not be surprised. I've seen some in Australia where they're around about close to like $25, and I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy cheap. I couldn't even printing here in Australia one piece of page, if it was a color one, it still costs like around about 30 cents. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, sorry, I'm just tuning in. I like your AMD Intel. Yeah, that's cool. No worries there. I'm looking at crypto trading actually. Well, crypto in the biggest sense of things, because I actually like to see what about the technology as well too in the crypto market. For that, Patrick, and thanks for tuning in, Patrick. So yeah, that's the AMD and versus Intel. I've got, I think, another one. I've got another AMD versus Intel as well too. But yeah, like I said, in the before when I started, I will just see if I can bring that out. But yeah, I'm going to actually do this AMD, which is this AMD Ryzen 5 5980HS processor. I'm going to get it compared to this M1 chip as well too. So I've got the 13-inch. I also have a 15-inch. It's just on the other place anyway. But I'll do the 15-inch and see how that compares. Because I know the 15-inch. Well, actually, does the 15-inch have the discrete graphics? I can't remember that spec of that one there. But I'll try and get a spec that actually has discrete graphics and have it compared to that. There's not really much you can do with the benchmarkings for it, because the Macs don't really have very good cross-platform unless I'm going to put in Boot Camp, which I don't want to put Boot Camp because it kind of disadvantages the Mac a lot. So in that, so I don't want to try and do. I'm thinking of getting into crypto as well, but I'm risk averse because some of the buy some Bitcoin. Have a look at ETH. ETH is doing really well, mate. Have a look at ETH. I actually moved some ETH into there, and they're doing really well. But yeah, Bitcoin, I don't know if you can mine that or not, because I think that you need ASICs to actually mine that. But no, I'm looking at the whole blockchain thing. It's just really interesting to see as you actually do some research, it then just forks out into different things. Oh, look at this project, look at that project. It's quite interesting anyway. So I'm waiting for my review on the T14S Gen 2. Gen 2, yeah, so I was just, thanks for joining me here. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Bujo? I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. But yeah, I was just saying earlier that I'm going to try and get hold of some of the Gen 2s from Lenovo, because I know they're all starting to come out now, but I know definitely there's a lot of shipping problems to Australia. So I'm going to try my best to actually get some of those in as well too. I'm very interested to see a lot of the Gen 2s, because the Gen 2s will house all the 11th gen in there, and also the AMD 5000 chips as well too. So I'm very interested to see those go head to head there as well too. I've got a Dell EMC. Oh wow, you've got some money there if you got an EMC. And yeah, for that space here there. Yeah. What are you doing with that, Max, with that Dell EMC? For those that don't know, the Intel X13, do you think the unit might be faulty? So, Patrick, that one there, I thought it might be faulty as well. So, because I actually got a few in the X13s, and I actually tested at least 3 units, the X13s, to see that I had that thermal throttling problem, and that all exhibit the exact same. Now I was like, that's a bit weird if all 3. And I also then reloaded Windows from scratch from Microsoft rather than from the Lenovo rebuild. So there, I actually loaded Windows 10 from Microsoft. I actually downloaded ISO and reloaded back in, and I just chucked in and just see how it goes. Now I thought it could have been either the Burn It software that I was using. So I actually then tested it in Citybench, and I also did it in Prime 95. I know you don't see me use Prime 95, but I do use not Prime 95 in the background just to stress test sometimes. And again, it did the exact same. It just goes around between I would say I did say on video about 2 minutes, but really it can be anywhere between 1.5 minutes to about 3.5 minutes, and it'll just throttle hard, and it just does not recover. You need to really let the computer rest for maybe about 7 to 10 minutes, and then it'll bring up the speeds back to normal speeds, and then after you do hit it hard, it'll just throttle again. So I think one of the things to take note of is for lots of professional software, well, not professional, it depends on your workflow. The reason why I should do that big long test, because I know some of the renderings and some of the codings and a lot of professional works, they run these on a very long time to actually get this. That's why I run that test, to show people the stability test on how fast it could be. Now, if you're just doing Photoshop, or you're just doing sort of like word processing, you won't hit those long extended period times. Hence why I try to do that 2 tests for you. I'll do the long stability test, so I try and actually do at least minimum 30 minutes. Or sometimes I just leave the computer and I come back in about 2 to 3 hours anyway. But I'll try and do that test so you can see that stability test, and then I'll do the second test, which is its turbo boost test, which means the burst speeds there, see how long it can last for the burst speed, and then it'll just drop off. And that's probably what you find most of the applications would run that second test. Well, that's what that second test is for most, because most of the applications are usually burst speeds anyway. So I'm hoping that will help you out. Sorry, I'm just running through some of these. And hi, Paulison. Paulus, is that how you say it? Your name? Sorry, I butchered it. Wow, you are from Blockfi. I've never heard of that place. Is that a country, or that's a city there, or town? I'm not sure. That is absolutely crazy to see these new places I've never heard of. The world is big anyway, so. But yes, hello back from Australia. How do you spell F? What was that? Effing? Or I don't know. It's like trying to ask there. I gotta admit that I'm a Lenovo fanboy, so anything Lenovo is great. Actually, Lenovo's been pretty good in a lot of stuff. I like their stability. I know some people don't. Their support sometimes a bit problematic, but they actually do very well. And I love especially their desktop stuff, like the big whole desktop. I actually like them, and I usually try and reserve them for things that's going to be sitting there for a very long time, that you're not going to be upgrading or doing things. I find those Lenovo ThinkStations are great for that sort of work. And then I like for all the other computers, yeah, definitely. Actually, I like to get some HP desktops in. I've never actually got one, and so I'm gonna try and see if I can ask HP to see. I've never tried. I've only tried. I used to play with the HP computers, and they were doing alright. We just lost their contract for it, so I haven't seen HP computers for a while. But they were doing alright. The Elites, I forgot what they're called again. I think the Elites and something. The last one I had was, I think it was Elite 7700 or so. Was I think the last HP desktop. Well, they're commercial as well too. So that's the last one I played with anyway. So I don't know what their high precision ones are called. Okay, now whatever. Sorry, I'm just reading through. I've got lost in there. NASA's with Unraid and VMS, and okay, interesting. Let's see what you're doing. But media. Okay, that's cool that you're actually using it as a media server as well too for the Adobe renderer. That's awesome. It's a lack of recovery that's the problem when running big jobs, and you can't. Yeah, that's exactly it. I think that's why I showed that end part of that video where I try to just stop it and just see if it can recover, and it just, as I saw, it does not recover. It just needs to actually cool down to then be able to bring that core speed back up again. So I was like, I'm wondering if it is a firmware. I'm going to talk to Lenovo. I just haven't had time to look, because I've been working. The X13 also has another issue, which is the microphone. And I was working with them, and they've actually got a BIOS. Well, it's not a BIOS. It's actually a firmware and driver update for that one there. So you need to get the latest one to actually fix a lot of the X13 microphones. And there, we have found some issues with the X13s with the microphones anyway. But as you should get a computer, if you ever get a new computer, do straight away, before you load anything in there, just update the BIOS and update the the drivers and then start on loading your other software as well, just because you don't know how long that computer's been sitting in the warehouse or sitting on, you know, the shipping containers before it comes to that country or your place anyway. So by then you just get the computer, update all the drivers, and then start working out, and then at least you know you're gonna hopefully get sort some of the problems that would have been problems by those updates and firmware updates as well too. So that's just the top tip in a way. So okay, data analysis can run for hours. That's exactly it. I actually had I had plenty of machines that would run a task that would take, one task could take anywhere between 7 to maybe about 9 days for one task. And when it cacks it, you lose a lot of time, and that produced a lot of data for sure. But yeah, so there are a lot of data analysis that actually do take a long time, plenty of hours usually, but that one, yeah, it's just gone to the extreme as well too. So it is nice to actually know, and that's usually what's the case when you actually do run data analysis. The type of computers you do run data analysis, you're probably more than likely using look for something that's got very good stability, and that's where the Xeons and I think it's now Threadrippers will come through because they're designed for long-term work in a way. So that's and also the Quadros as well for the graphics cards, long-term work. They have good stability and also error correction as well too. That's awesome. I run Python. I'm actually learning Python now for the deep learning stuff, and R on large data sets. R is a very powerful software. Not powerful. It's a powerful programming language that does a lot of statistics. I've had many add-ons and other softwares that run a lot of statistics stuff, and I know I don't know how to program in R, but I know some statisticians who are very well in R, and when we had to fix a lot of software, they just say, I hope these guys can just learn R because you can do everything R. It just takes a little bit more time, but it is so versatile, R. Anyway, so that's cool. Country in Blockfi. Oh, okay, that's a new country. I will have to Google that after this. I'm interested to see Baltic, Eastern Europe. That is cool. The Bitcoin. Okay, hi from Portugal. Hi, Ricardo. How are you doing as well too? Thanks for joining me. Will you review the new Dell 9420? Yes, I will. I have organized that. I'm waiting for it. I'm hoping sometime it will arrive. That one there is another interesting one, the 90, because I did the 94. Was it 94 or did I do the 9510? I can't remember. I think it might have been the 15-inch one that I did, but 94. So also I might actually create a video on how to understand some of the terms, model numbers for Dell, and I think Lenovo's probably a good one, and I might ask HP there as well too, because even HP's new to me as well too, so I might see how to decode the different ones. But for Dells, it's pretty much you get the first number, which is the model series, which is usually there's a 3, which is the budget series, the 5, which is usually the nice normal sort of series. You got the 7, which is the lightweight one, and then the 9 is the U-Butte latest craze flagship stuff for the latitudes and also precisions as well too. And then the second number is the actual screen size, and then which is the third number represents the generation, and then the last number, it represents if it's actually one of the high end ones or not. That's a little bit more subsection of them anyway. So just to let you know very quickly with the Dells, I need to scroll down now, so okay, here we go. Currently there are no ThinkPads Ryzen 7 availability on Lenovo shop. Have you some updates? I don't know. I don't get updates from Lenovo as well. All I get updates is like no shipping. I'm gonna let you know. I actually have Lenovo Nano on order since December, and it hasn't even arrived. It's May already. That's 5 months, and it has not arrived yet. I'm gonna have to ask the ETA on that as well too. So that's how bad it is here in Australia. But I will ask what the availability is for. Now also, Bejo, is look at I'm not sure if you're looking at Gen 1 or Gen 2. Gen 2 is definitely, if you can save your money for Gen 2, it is a huge upgrade, even over to Gen 1, because having the mobile 5000 chip in there is just wow. Is all I can say is wow. That Gen 2, which should have the mobile 5000 chip, Ryzen mobile 5000 chip in there, it's going to be a massive upgrade for it. Normally you see about 20-30%. This is going to be big. Let's just say that. Patrick, your statistician, awesome. It's good to hear. So I'll take a guess. You were just telling me you were just using R, and what was the other one you're using as well too? Sorry, I'll just have a quick read. And Python. Okay. I'm taking a guess. Do you do anything else like SPSS stats? SES was it? There's the Tish, was it SAS as well too? What else is there? There's a whole bunch of them I've been playing. Well, I know about anyway. That can do things. So, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know what field are you in terms of statistician wise, or what kind of area are you studying or researching about? It'd be good to know. Thank you for your answer. My company asks me to choose between a Dell 9420 and the ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 9. Ooh, that's a hard. I have not played with both, unfortunately, and I do know a bit about both. And ooh, that's a hard one there. I really like the X1 Carbons. Have always been a very special place in my heart, and the not Gen having the, I think it does have the 16:10 ratio is really good. Now the 9420, I don't think it's going to be as light as the X1 Carbons, and I'm wondering what ports it's got as well too. I haven't even checked. I need to check what ports it's got. But the X1 Carbons, ooh, that's a hard one, mate. That is a hard one. I did like the 94. Was it either if I have a 9510 or the 9410? I actually liked it as well too, and it also had some really decent speakers that actually did compare very well with the X1 Carbons. Now, so if you're giving me the choice between the two, now I can definitely tell you the AI system in the Dell is a lot better in terms of probably maybe the battery life. It does have, because it is the flagship of their range, of Latitude range. So if you're not paying for it, and if you don't do a crazy amount of travel and you don't need to worry about that extra bit of weight, go with the Latitude 9420. Go with that. If you do a lot of travel and weight is an issue, then go with the X1 Carbon. But both you really can't be too sorry about. Those two are very computers I definitely would know there. So definitely there. Now, same with the PS5s. Hard to get. Yeah, everything's hard to get. There's a shortage of all silicons there. Anyway, there's not much information on the Dell 9420. It appears a very premium note, and it's smart that you have no problems with the heat. Yeah, the reason why there's not much information, because not many people can get a lot of it in. I have talked about the 9420 I tried to organize about 3 months ago, and I was just waiting for release, and I think it's released, but nothing yet. It's shipping problems there, so definitely yeah. I don't know about the heat problems, but they both should actually run the 11th gen, and they're both doing very well. Now, as for the cooling, I think, for my thinking, is the Dell should actually have a little bit better heat cooling than the X1 Carbon 9th gen. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know Dells usually put a lot of emphasis on their cooling, especially on their high end, and the 9420 is their flagship for the Latitude, so they would put all their latest greatest stuff and cooling into that. Now I do know, and I've actually opened up both of the Gen 8 for X1 Carbon, and also the 94, 95, 10. And when you actually look at the back cover, which I actually should do one. I should do that in one of my videos. Actually, show you the back cover on it. You find that the Dells have a little bit like caviar. Is that the word? Caviar. It's like the bulletproof stuff. Shielding, and they also have another material that actually helps with trying to reverse the actual heat away from the back end, so it kind of pushes it back to the thing, which is kind of not what you want, but it stops it from, especially when you're trying to put in your people. I don't know why people still put things in on their laps anyway, but people do, and that's what they're trying to do. And that's one of the cool things I see that the Dells have got. Lenovo's aren't really yet in there. Some of the high ends do. So I know the X1 are still, they're very good ones, but that's not fully their flagship. The X1 Carbons. I know the X1 Nano is their flagship because that's what they've been trying to push. I'm just waiting to get one in at the moment. So that's hopefully might give you a little bit of insight about the cooling on between those two there. But yeah, if you can get the 9420, if you do get the 9420, do buzz me and tell me how it goes. I'm interested there. Patrick, SAS. Okay, SAS, that's cool. I've been years of working with just installing SAS and SAS Enterprise. Now we're going back to SAS as well too. So big install. I played with SAS. Well, actually, just installations for more than a decade now. I remember the first time when I installed SAS. For those who don't know, SAS is a massive software, and it takes a long time to install. I think the average install takes usually around about 45 minutes or so. But one of the things I see for the first time I played with SAS, installing SAS, it was on DVDs, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And it took me nearly 3 hours to install SAS. I think I now learned it was because of all the different languages. It had actually, I think it was close to about, if I remember correctly, it had around about nearly close to about 30 DVDs for that. It was just insane. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then I found out you can just take away from all those languages, and then you'll just stick with one or two. I think in the end you can cut it down to about 3 DVDs anyway instead of all that extra DVDs. But yeah, it is expensive. And I've been inquiring about MATLAB as well too, and that's expensive as well too. But there is one of the other things I'm not sure if you ever played with this, Patrick, is another statistician stuff. It's very particular. It's called GenStat. From VNSI, and that is expensive as well too. I think all this statistician stuff is just expensive. It's great to see R, because that will save you a lot of money, because you can do a lot of the stuff in R as well, what is what I've been told anyway. So yeah. Okay, X1 cover, yep. I said both you can't go wrong. Both are fantastic in what they do. I'm not really a big on one particular one. I go with whatever it's easier for support, because that thing, and I have a very good relationship with Dell, so they actually do very easiness for support for myself. So for me, it's been, I use both, and I don't have preference in terms of the computer. I just see whatever it's good in a way as well too. So some years I'll go with the Dell, some years I'll go with the Lenovo. At the moment I have a lot of shipping problems with the Lenovo, so I'm going with Dell. Anyway, so Patrick, you make sure you use MFTR and open source R for, yep. Sorry, that stuff is probably over my head. You know about that, Lawrence. Looks like you're much more better expert than I am. Thanks for tuning in and helping him out there. Thanks for answering, guys. I've got this. I think I missed you because I went and blab a lot anyway. It will be free for me. For the company, Dell will be cheaper. I'm a C programmer and use Microsoft SQL. Both 16:10 ratio. Thank you for your answer. Thank you very much. It's good to see I'm able to answer something and give you a little bit of insight there, Ricardo, which is great. SAS is so expensive. Yeah. I was a GenStat user. Good to see. One thing about GenStat is what was partially developed by Adelaide. I did not know that it was partially developed here in Australia. That's good, because it's done by a UK company. It's just so hard to talk to them because it's always overnight when I had to deal with VNSI for the GenStat. And it's nice to see they've actually gone to a different modeling scheme now for the licensing. Much easier, and I think it's a lot more cheaper now too as well too. So it's good to see they've actually moved on as well too. SBS is expensive, yeah, it is, especially there. And I've played with SBS. Well, I haven't played. I've installed it, and same with Amos as well too. That's kind of stuff for the SPS. Yes, there. But yes, yeah, a lot of this stuff is very expensive there. Anyway, but yeah, is got any more questions there? Yeah. Well, one of the places I support was for agriculture, and that's what I know about the GenStat. And there's also RS Remo as well too. Is that how you pronounce it? I call it RS Remo as well too. But what's there? So I did a bit of agriculture. So actually, that's kind of what you get from, and what I call is a traveling people. My staff was just traveling over the world there. So that's kind of will hopefully give you a bit of insight when I should do some of the reviews, is because I get some feedback from my staff, and they just tell me how the computer is when they go on planes or trains or when they go off site, and how far they can take a beating for. So I do see some of the computers come back and they're just like, wow, where did you take this through? Mud or forests and stuff, which is where they actually do end up going to. And so some of these, when I say it can take a beating, it can take a beating for sure. I do see some of the rugged computers as well, but it's hard for me to do reviews on those ones there because I really don't have very long enough time to actually film some stuff and that. And I think the manufacturers, they really hard for me to get a hold of a review unit as well, but it's a very small market for the rugged sections for there. But most of it, usually for the enterprise, they're pretty durable these days anyway. So they got a bit of liquid ability to get rid of them, and they have a little bit more resistance to liquids these days as well too. Now, as for physical damage, they are getting better. I think it's purely from our better materials as well too. So yeah. Okay, Roger Payne is a key person there. Okay, all right. Well, I used to work on the project. Good to know, Patrick. You're more expert than I am. So that's good to see. Any chance of reviewing the Dell 5520? Yes, I am trying to get a hold of the Latitude 7520. It's just been one of those things, ETA's no idea. So trying my best to get hold of the Latitude 7520, because I do know, and I know Lawrence has got one that it's actually got a very different thermal there. So, and I think he's talking. Actually, I actually need to talk to Dell about this. But yeah, Lawrence, is your 7520 still quite loud for the fan when it's just doing nothing? Please buzz me through the chat. There from New South Wales Agriculture in Queensland DIP. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Wait, hold a second. Used to work for. Oh, cool. That's awesome to know. Now, I think was DPI, was that the fishery stuff, Patrick? Panasonic laptops. Yeah, Panasonic is interesting. Now, I have been. If you've probably seen a bit of a channel there earlier, I did some Fujitsu as well too. I had a few Fujitsu computers, and I just did not have time to film it. They've got some very interesting ones there, but I think it's a very small market that people are actually buying Fujitsu computers. Now, as for Panasonic, it's even probably another small one there. They used to be really big, but now these days, I think maybe here in Australia, I don't see much Panasonic. So I don't think I even see them commercially for that. So that's a long time. I don't know if they still make computers, Panasonic, or not. Patrick, your background is interesting. I'm sure we'll have to work in the same organization at some point. Yeah, I do support more than actually so I'm a different end of it. So you have problems when you call me anyway. So yeah, and even then I don't know how to fix it as well too. I just kind of just wing it is what I do. Do you happen to know when the new XPS will be released? Super privileged information. Okay, now so XPS. Now with the XPS, it usually has the new chip in there, and like I said, so you probably wouldn't have tuned in. Something is happening in Team Blue in next week or so. I think it is next week. Tune in for that sometime, and I think I would not be surprised anytime soon after that, maybe in a month's time or two. we'll be getting a flood of new computers. Let's just tell you that we'll be getting a flood of new computers, and I don't know if the XPS will be part of that, but the XPS do house those chips in there, so be a lookout on that. I don't know the time frame on the XPS from that, so it'll be interesting to see what that comes out of that one there. I'm hoping so, because as you probably know, I do use the XPS 15 as a daily driver when I'm not using the other computers. That's the other one I'm using at the moment as well too. Now it does have a bit of heating issue, but I'm fine with that. It was free from work anyway, so it's not too bad. I'm happy to continue using that as well. Now I do run a lot of my video editing stuff on my normal desktop because it's a lot quicker there as well too. But yeah, just to let you know, Ricardo, I would not be surprised within a couple weeks time, maybe we might see something, or it could be a couple months anyway. The time frame, when does they normally release the new XPS? Because the last XPS that was released was the 13-inch. Now, are you looking at 13-inch or 15-inch? Because the 13-inch was the last one, did have the 11th gen in there. The 13-inch will house. I don't expect the 13-inch to be refreshed maybe until at the earliest maybe about November, October is what I'm guessing, because that's already got 11th gen in there. But the 15-inch, that one I would be expecting sometime, soonish as well. Close to will be released soonish anyway. So that's hope gives you maybe a time frame. That I can't sort of say. I've got embargoes at the moment, so I can't really talk too much about Team Blue too much as well too. All right, Department of Fishery. Yeah, sorry, Department of Primary Industry. Yep, that's what it means. I can't remember all the time. I see that all the time, and I see the logo. I just can't remember what it actually stands for. It's yes, idle with free YouTube videos around 15 to 20% fan is noticeable. Oh, okay. I'll have a chat with Dell. Well, the thing is, I want to get one in so I can actually talk to them physically. Panasonic robust and modular for fieldwork. Yeah, I know. Remember also, while we're at it, I know that a lot of Panasonic is used for the rugged ones, especially the really rugged ones. They're very well known for the fieldwork there, so I definitely know that. And I also know the Latitudes also have the rugged section as well too, which is I can't remember what series it was called. They're on their own series as well too, but I actually requested to try and see if I can get one in for review. So but yeah, you really they're so chunky, it's not funny anyway. Those rugged ones anyway. But yeah, definitely for fieldwork, literally out for the sticks. That's it. It would be possible that one day you made a video of the best portable hubs. Since they come with a few ports nowadays. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who get into that, and there a few do pass by to me. Like I've actually got two at the moment here. They're actually around the back. I won't disappear from the camera. But I don't really. I've taken so many laptops in. I am trying to get a few. I do play with a few port replicas or docking stations, more docking stations, because the ones you're probably talking about is probably when you take out adapters and stuff like that. And I really rely on people's feedback on adapters to find out what's cheap or not nice, because I actually approached a few. So I approached, I think I approached the QGeam. That was not bad. And also Ugreen was another one that was told to me, and that was really good. And that was actually quite cheap and actually did very well. Now I also try and make them to see how they work with Macs as well too. Windows computers not too much of a problem because they do support MST, but the whole Macs, they don't support MST, and that's where it's really fiddly and flyly. So I'm trying to find some of that, but yeah, definitely there are some cheap ones there. But yeah, for me so far, what I've tested, and I'm playing with the Satachi ones as well, and also the Belkins, and the other one is the Taurus ones as well, and of course the Lenovo and Dells as well. But the Lenovo and Dells, they're more of a docking station than anything else. But I think the other one, at the moment, I was really impressed by the quality of the Eugene. Is it Ugreen? So Ugreen. I was actually very impressed by that quality, and it's actually quite cheap as well too. I think it was on Amazon for like about $45. So it could be a little less, but I had all the ports, and I was pretty good on that one there. But yeah, I'll do what I can if I can get more adapters in to see what they come do. But yeah, I understand what you mean by that. Hence why I like the computers that still have ports anyway. I might pay a little bit more, but I have ports anyway. So especially when you go into presentational meetings, it's nice to have just to have the HDMI port. That is such a useful port. I don't know why people keep taking that port and give you a dongle. So yeah. Let's have a look. The only yep, tough books. Yep. Well, lunchtime here in Portugal. Rest, good morning. Good night to you all. Thanks for see you later, Ricardo. Thanks for joining in me. Have a good day as well too. Anyway, all right. No worries. Is there any other thing else? If not, I might just tune out as well too, because I've got a few bit more testing. I've actually been doing this for now. Wow, I didn't realize. Time flies, isn't it, guys? But yeah, so definitely, if you guys got anything, do put it in the comments. I do try my best to read the comments in from new videos within the first day or two. After that, it's really, I'm relying on YouTube to actually give me through the comments sections, and it's very selective. It's kind of like just to let you know, on my end of story for the comments, YouTube just randomly picks different comments for different videos, so I don't see all them all, and it just goes because we've got a comment section that does it, and it just comes out left and right and center. It's from random videos, and I don't know how it really runs its algorithm, just like the algorithm for our viewership. That's why I don't get very much. But the same with the comments. I try my best to do about 10 or so comments per day, and then leave it at that, because I've got other things to do, and that's as much as I can really handle at the moment. I used to do when I started off, I did used to take about 30 minutes or 45 minutes just doing comments, but now these days I just don't have the time. I've got too much things to do as well too, and learning as well too. So I'm going to do about 10 a day. Now, like I said, with the new videos, I do my best because I can actually just have a quick concentrate on those. I usually do the first 3 videos. I'll just have a quick squizzle on those 3 videos for the first week or so after the release. So if you do, even for these live streams, the same thing, I'll actually read the comments and then just try my best to comment back anyway within that week anyway. After that, I then just rely on the YouTube algorithm commenting system to actually tell me or anything else. So yeah. Oh, cool. Are you Australian? Yes, I am Australia. I am in Brisbane, mate. So, hey, how are you doing? And thanks for joining me as well too. But yes, I'm here in Australia, and I was born here in Australia, so I'm ABC as well too. Good evening. Thanks again. Always interested to see where the conversation in the live chat. It's nice to see. It's good to see the conversation, and a lot of people are joining as well too. So as this, hopefully this channel grows, I'll get more people. And it's been very interesting to actually learn and hear where people are, because I really just, when I'm filming and when I'm actually doing things, it's really to myself, and it's just hard. And I think I'm just starting to get used to the camera and just talking to the camera right now as well too. But it's nice actually getting feedback from you guys through the live chats. I'm really enjoying this as well too, and I'm actually finding new things from you guys as well and asking questions, which means it also encouraged me to learn other stuff as well, and also find out for things that are actually useful, and also finds out what are things that's useful to you as well when I do the reviews as well too. So I am trying to add more better stuff and take some of the stuff that's maybe not useful. I might just throw those away anyway for some things. Like I think one of the things I'm considering, I know it's people go, you probably noticed that I actually stopped doing it, is a lot of the color calibrations on the monitors, because I think that's probably one of the sections on the review videos. It is very specific on that particular model, because quite simply you can get either the full HD, touch, non-touch. They're all different, and also there's 4K versions as well, and there's privacy screens versions as well too. So I've kind of like take that off from there. And it's very specific, and I did look at doing backlights and not backlights for the display, but at the moment, because it's so many displays for a different one, and I'm only getting one, I might get lucky, I might get 2 at the exact same time for different configurations for the display. But you've noticed I'm taking that out because it was just too long for the videos anyway. But I'm now going to try and add a little bit more on power, because it seems that more people are interested in power of things there. audio, yeah, I'm still there. I think I'm keeping the ports in because I was thinking about also dumping the ports area out as well too. But yeah, I'm just swapping in and out of different parts of the reviews to find out what you guys are more interested in. And you guys are helping me lead on to that or give me ideas on what is to do in the future as well too. So I'm trying to move things to more what you guys would be interested in rather than just put your advertising what you can read off the spec sheet. That's something I don't really want to do, and it's just like, yeah, I don't want to give you information that you could have read in the spec sheet. Maybe I'll just list it out, maybe just to cut some of the videos out, time on the videos, just because we're all professionals, we want to save time anyway, so hoping just to give you a bit of insights as well too. Yeah, ABC as well, that's good to say there. Hopefully one day we'll get a meet up as well too, whatever there, Patrick. It'll be very interested to see what you guys, well, I'm getting a very good idea what you're doing because I can definitely see from the answers there, but yeah, definitely, so. But yeah, thanks a lot for you joining me. Good. Thanks a lot, Lawrence, as well too, for joining me. And again, Lawrence has been one of my members, and it's great to actually see him join in because normally I would put this under the member section, but I think it's just nice to actually have more interaction with randomly with a lot of people there. But yeah, so definitely. Anyway. As I said, we've gone for over an hour now, and I was going to give your time back now. And thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for your support. And I definitely will catch you guys in the next video. Now, the next video I'm going to produce out, just to let you know, will be this Asus ROG X13 Flow. That'll be the review video for that, and then I'll try and do the comparison just to give you a heads up on that. And then I'll try my best to go back to the Dell Latitudes and complete those off. I've just got so much going on at work as well too, so trying to actually produce the videos is just I need help, let's just say, but I've got all knowledge, I just need help on just fixing the final product. Alright, no worries there guys, and enjoy that and have a great week, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you guys.